So wonderful show, great show. A lot of people seem to be freaking out about the very end of it, but wow. We started off with the 6 woman tag, which was about what you would expect. It was a showcase match, 3 on 3. Everybody got to get their little moves in, got to look good. Naomi got to come out on top with a pin on the champion, try and set up their match. I know a lot of people are thinking because this was a 6 woman match that there's going to be a women's elimination chamber. Doesn't look like the way they're going. It looks like it's going to be Naomi versus Alexa 1 on 1, but obviously that could change. We've had women's main events in Hell in a Cell. We've had women's main events in a steel cage. So why not have women in the elimination chamber? It's certainly possible, but yeah, ended with the women standing on top. The faces. It was what it was. It was never going to be anything crazy. Cesaro versus the club. I liked how it turned out. It was a really good match. The 2 referees didn't really come into it until the very end, and even that was really anything that they could have done without having the first referee get bumped in the first place. There was no screw job, nothing like that. It was a pretty clean win, and with the former champs fighting in the main event, I don't think that there's that much that's going to come out of a rematch. They'll get one because they're contractually obligated, which I hate. I hate the contractual obligation, but they'll get one, and they'll probably end up fighting each other. And Sheamus will go back to being a heel. Cesaro will go on to other things, but not a title. Well, unless he gets the United States run again, that might be nice. But it's going to be nice to see Gallus and Anderson with the titles. I'm sad that we didn't get to see them backstage with AJ Styles at some point, unless it was during the brief period that I was out of the room and I just missed it, but I didn't see anybody talk about it, so I'm assuming it didn't happen. Nia versus Sasha. Like I said on Too Late to Sleep, Sasha is doing the injury angle, so it was easier for Nia Jax to pick up the win. It wasn't quite a squash, but she was pretty dominant, which is the way it should have been. I don't think this is going to be the last we'll see between the two of them. I think there's going to be a rematch again at whatever Raw's next pay-per-view is. But yeah, that is not the end of that. Then on to the main show, Charlotte versus Bayley. Good match. Nothing crazy. That finish was insane. That natural selection, I was trying to think of the name of it. Natural selection was the best she's ever executed it. It was crazy. She goes over the lip of the ring so she doesn't end up on it. She gets a nice soft landing on her ass while Bayley just gets driven into the hardest part of the ring. Fantastic way to do it. Really kind of sold that Bayley, it took something extra to put her away, so she ends up looking good in the loss. Good match. Owens versus Reigns, so much better than I think anybody expected it to be. You've got this frog splash spot, which is insane. Going, basically landing on where the support for the table is, had to hurt so much more, even with Reigns in the middle. That is not a good part of the table to land on. That had to hurt. Then you got the chair tower spot. Owens bled for this match. Owens had to be in so much pain for this match. Roman too. I mean, Roman took some solid hits, especially at the end. That can't feel good. The whole point of the table spot is the table is supposed to collapse, and it doesn't. You might as well be landing on metal for that. I know it's not a huge drop from the top of Braun's arm down to the table, but it can't feel good to land like that. Pardon. Both these guys just put themselves through hell for that match, and it really paid off. It was a really good counter to the other title match that was just a wrestling match. It needed to be something different, and a no disqualification match just kind of fits where Kevin Owens is at right now, and Roman can obviously play in that playground with anyone else. So it was really, really well done. Swan Neville, nothing crazy. It was a good, solid match. It was what I expected from them, except I didn't expect Neville to win. I thought he would. I thought he would win but not get the title, or he would lose but still look strong. I did not expect him to come out on top with the belt. But it was a solid match. Neville now looks strong. He's a strong king to challenge. And the problem is there's really nobody in the division right now to go after him. I don't know if they're going to bring somebody down to 205 to chase him. I kind of hope so. Or if they're going to promote somebody from NXT. You got Gargano. You got Ciampa, who both were in the CWC. They'd be great. Tozawa, depending on how they handle him, could fit in really well there. But it's going to be interesting who they fit into that spot to chase after Neville as soon as Swan gets his rematch out of the way. Styles versus Cena, strong contender for match of the year, at least on WWE's end. Just blew my mind. I know I wasn't alone. Crazy. The story, I mean, it was like Omega Okada, which everybody was talking about. This was going to be the one to challenge it. I don't think anybody expected it to be better. But they knew that this was going to be WWE's chance to try and say, hey, this is what we got. Just like that match, it started slow. It built up. So well done. So much emotion in it. So much of holding the crowd in their hands. My problem with it was with Omega Okada, I think they handled it well, where they teased the finisher a lot, but they didn't hit it until it mattered. This one, you had a lot of kicking out of finishers. You had Cena kicking out of the Styles Clash, I think, twice. You had AJ Styles kicking out of the Avalanche Attitude Adjustment, which I think should be protected more than anything. That's not a move that you do every day, and then to hit that and have Styles kick out of it, yeah, it makes Styles look great. It makes him look like $1 million, but it really devalues not just the Avalanche F5 attitude adjustment, but the regular attitude adjustment. Because if Styles can kick out of this super attitude adjustment, then why is, for instance, Orton kicking out of not kicking out of a regular attitude adjustment? That's the kind of logic that I don't like about something like that. But minor complaint. Like I said, the match was amazing. I have to acknowledge that. I have to acknowledge that I don't like that part. But yeah, Cena comes out on top. This puts him tied with Flair for the most championships of all time. This puts him at 16. Cena deserves it. We knew it was going to happen. I didn't think it was going to happen today. I thought it might happen at WrestleMania. But my main problem with this is they're not going to carry this on until WrestleMania because they got to get Styles out of the way. I don't know what they're going to do with Styles at WrestleMania. That's going to be very interesting to see where they go over the next couple months. But I would have really liked to have seen them build the rematch to WrestleMania, because if this is what they did at Royal Rumble, what they would do on the biggest stage would be just amazing. Take it to the Rumble itself. The mystery entrance, we had 8. We didn't know who they were going to be going in. We ended up with Kalisto, Jack Gallagher, Mark Henry, Ty Dillinger, James Ellsworth, Apollo Crews, Enzo, and Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns, obviously not on anybody's list of the 8 they wanted, judging by the crowd reaction. A lot of people were afraid of a repeat of 2015. Or what happened with Batista in 2014. Nobody really wanted that. But it's still, the match itself was amazing. Braun Strowman looked like $1 million. He eliminated, I think, 6 people. You had a lot of eliminations when Goldberg and Undertaker were out. They kind of competed with each other for eliminations for a little bit. had Brock throwing people out. It ended up, you had that solid Braun Strowman spot where he was throwing everybody out, and then as soon as he got eliminated, he had a nice build up until Brock came out. Brock got to look like $1,000,000, but he only threw out like two people or so before Goldberg came out. Goldberg has Brock's number. That's the message. Goldberg threw out Lesnar in no time. Obviously, I think everybody's expecting them to go again at WrestleMania. The problem with that is the way they're booking it is it doesn't look like Goldberg has anything to prove. He's now 2-0 against Lesnar, plus this at the Rumble. Why would he go into this match? So that'll be interesting to see how they answer that question. It looked like they're teasing Roman versus Undertaker for WrestleMania. That could be a hell of a match. It takes Undertaker off of SmackDown and puts him on Raw, which is not what it looked like we were getting at SmackDown 900. But it's not like Undertaker's going to make a lot of appearances anyway. And the really, really big story out of this is going to be what happens with the Wyatt family. We saw Luke Harper turn on Bray Wyatt, try to put him in the Sister Abigail. He set it up. He didn't get to land it. Is he gone? How does that play out? Is it going to be him against Bray at WrestleMania? But how does Bray handle a subordinate going to WrestleMania for the main event? What happens there? What does Bray Wyatt do with Randy Orton going to the main event? Does he try to get him to give him the main event? Is this what starts their split? Because so far Randy Orton has really proven that he is a true believer. I think everybody expected that when he joined the Wyatt family, it was to destroy from within. But he has shown over the past few months that he is loyal to Bray, which I don't think anybody expected. So how does this affect that? That is going to be, I think, the most interesting story, at least until Elimination Chamber, which is only 2 weeks away. But anyway, to sum it all up, I loved this show. I thought WWE did a great job. I always love the Royal Rumble, even when other people don't. But when you look at everything as a whole, everything they did, the quality of the matches, this was one of the best shows that WWE has put on in a long time. And as much as I liked TakeOver last night, I preferred the Rumble tonight. It was that good. We are going to be doing Too Late to Sleep on Friday, of course. I am going to be doing a special series. If you watch the WWE 2K simulations, I came upon a realization about the WWE roster recently that is going to lead to a special tournament I'm going to be doing with WWE 2K, and we'll get into that more when I start uploading, but I'm hoping to get the first round up, at least the first couple matches this week. So be looking for that if you're one of those guys that likes the 2K simulations I put up. I have no idea what kind of crossover there is between the people that watch this stuff and the people that watch that stuff. Could be none at all. I don't know. But please, if you enjoyed this, drop me a comment. Let me know. Let me know if you are looking forward to this again. And if so, do you want me to do it on the minor shows or just the bigger shows? If you think doing it after Elimination Chamber would be a waste, let me know. I can take constructive criticism. I love it. I love you guys. Thank you, my Trampions. I love you. As always, I am the Tramp. Cheers.